The veteran about to walk through the door specializes in new school, but he's one of the most versatile artists ever to compete. And that took him all the way to the finale.
The suspense is killing me.
Cleen Rock One.
Oh, no.
I am here to take back my rightful throne.
Today, you all went head-to-head tattooing the same subject, a pinup. Cleen.
From the waist up, I like the exaggerated body size. Her shoulders look like they're on the right plane. She looks like she's connected. You don't have any discombobulated limbs.
I love the chalkboard with the equation. I love the papers with the grades. It tells a story. As far as artistry goes, I think this is one of the best tattoos of the day.
Thank you.
Today, you had to use intricate patterns of line work to create ornamental tattoos. Each of you tattooed head-to-head with another artist, and we will directly compare your work. One of you will win, and one of you will lose. Cleen, you were head-to-head with Dawn. The fact that you made it a dark graphic image was a very, very smart move.
The black is solid. The shade from black to light is smooth. Good, clean, professional tattoo right here.
Dawn.
The thing that bothers me the most about this, in the center part where those dots are, the two lines coming off those are pretty shaky. It just looks inconsistent.
Now it's time to poll the judges between Cleen and Dawn.
I'm gonna have to go with Cleen on this one too.
Overall, craftsmanship, technician, Cleen.
And I'm gonna go with Cleen too. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, artists, it's time to critique your work. Cleen.
You pulled out a lot of nice tricks in this tattoo. The way you put the dark, solid black roots in the back to really create depth. It looks like it's coming out in all directions, and those roots are going every which way.
Having those subtle little pieces of branch come out was a really nice touch. It's a great tattoo.
Today, you all went head-to-head tattooing a symbol of beauty, a Japanese geisha. Cleen.
Overall composition, I like the way you sleeved out this one inside of the arm. There's a lot of nice little tricky details in it. Putting that gray skin up to her face and leaving her face white in the middle there, that's the contrast that needed to give her that pale look.
If other people look at this, they can see that just with an outline and solid color, you can make something beautiful. Really strong outing against everybody here.
Today, you had to use dimension to bring animals to life. Each of you tattooed head-to-head with another artist, and we will directly compare your work. One of you will win, and one of you will lose. Josh, let's start with you. Chris and Angel put you up against Cleen. How did you feel about that?
It was a good opportunity for me to truly compete against somebody that could do good artwork.
Technically, you are sound, but it's not the most legible, readable tattoo. It doesn't necessarily look just like what the mushroom explosion is. It looks like something else. It's a bear wearing a party hat or a bear in a lava lamp.
Cleen.
You did a really good job with the texture and the fur here. I like what you did in the back, behind the ear, that dark area. I do actually like it dark because you feel dimension and some perspective.
Overall, it's a really fierce and ferocious animal. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Face off between Cleen and Josh. Let's poll the judges, see who won this head-to-head challenge.
I'm going with Cleen.
Clean.
I will also have to go with Cleen. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
This week, you tattooed for 12 hours. 6 hours on one glute and 6 hours on another glute, finishing another artist's design. Each glute you tattooed will be compared side by side with the other artist's tattoo on the other glute. One of you will win and one of you will lose. Cleen and Julia, let's start with you. Let's start with Cleen's side. Your design overall was really smart. The addition of the bow to bring it to both sides worked really, really well.
The color palette's nice. It works well. Overall, man, it's a good job.
Let's move along to Julia's side.
It definitely doesn't stack up. If you look at the letters and you look at your two little S's at the end of sweetness, they look nothing like the S at the beginning of sweetness.
Let's poll the judges. Cleen.
Cleen.
The winner of the head-to-head competition is Cleen. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Dawn and Cleen.
Well, Don, overall, this tattoo's really strong. I know it's tricky working on a butt cheek, especially when you got somebody yanking on the other butt cheek.
The line work has so many inconsistencies going straight down the anchor that it really stands out.
Let's move along to Cleen's tattoo.
The line weight difference between the exterior of the jewels and the little lines on the inside give it that crisp, sharp look. Technically, this is a very sound tattoo.
Thank you.
All right, so it's time to poll the judges between Dawn and Cleen.
Cleen it is.
Thank you.
Cleen, congratulations, man. Today, all of you went head-to-head creating biomechanical tattoos. Cleen.
You didn't go crazy in details, but there's tremendous detail in it. You did a lot of repetitive things, only they don't repeat themselves. Each section of the beads is different. It gives more of an artistic feel.
I tried to change up a little bit as I went, just so it wasn't so stiff.
This is a strong tattoo.
Thanks.
Let's poll the judges and award Tattoo of the Day.
What I like about Cleen's tattoo is even though he did a rigid design, he was smart enough to just make it free-flowing.
Final decision.
I think Eric.
I'm going with Cleen.
And I'm going with Cleen.
The winner of the best tattoo of the day is Cleen.
Thank you.
Like you, your canvases today also don't let an opportunity pass them by. They're here to knock something else off their must-do list. They all want to get their very first tattoo.
What? I hate tattooing first-timers because they're usually the pickiest sons of bitches ever.
You must be adaptable to work with their ideas and make their first tattoo a memorable life experience. Cleen.
I always wanted something tribal, and one of the biggest things was getting my kids somehow incorporate it.
The details are really nice and clean. The black is really solid. Really love the way it fits the arm.
Cleen's tattoo, it's not accurate. It's not traditional Polynesian tribal. My rose whoops the out of Cleen's wrong Polynesian tribal.
Today you had to show smooth gradation by tattooing head-to-head with our guest judge, black and gray expert, Tommy Montoya. Cleen. Face, man, what happened there?
It's Jesus on a cross in pain.
You kept it real with me, so I owe you the same respect. The face, it sucks, bro. Right now, Jesus is looking like a Muppet, man. But you're lucky because everything else is badass. The gradation in all the body, it's soft, you know, and nice. I like how you did some outline on the arms and the wrists so that it separates it from the cross. It's a good tat, man.
Just looking at the richness of the two blacks, comparing them side by side, Tommy's black is really, really black. And if you look at yours, it doesn't show as packed and solid. And that's the difference. Tattooing amputees, finesse is definitely required because you tattoo a lot of different skin textures all in one tattoo.
Where is it exactly that we would like to put this?
I'm thinking maybe like across here, like this.
I'm looking for all of the tattooers to take a traumatic instance for a client and turn it into a thing of beauty that they want to show off and be proud of.
Cleen.
Man, capturing the detail in those flowers and leaves is really amazing.
It shows a lot of finesse because you have the really, really tight detail and then the very bold lines. Great design, Cleen.
Today, you had to show finesse by tattooing on a difficult body part, the spine. Cleen. You went head-to-head against Chris.
This is a really sharp, vibrant, dynamic tattoo, man. The color contrast is great. The depth that you were able to achieve with that dark shading and the way the spirals go underneath each other really makes it stand apart.
Thank you. Lining things up in the center of anybody's spine is very tough, and by doing this stylized version of it, you set yourself up never to fail. Choices are what win this competition, and you're making good ones.
Today, you had to tattoo a perfectly placed skull on your canvas's head. Cleen, let's start with you.
Well, Cleen, I like the placement of this tattoo. It fills up the whole area, the top of the head. You got a lot of nice tones and shades to black, to the brown, to the bronzy yellow. I think plays really well against this gray shading in the skull.
I really like the fact that you took the time to add all kinds of different little details and intricate design elements. You added so much to this design to make it really unique and cool.
Thank you.
All right, guys, who had the best tattoo of the day? If I had to wear one, I'd wear Aaron's. If I had to vote on placement, I'd go with Cleen.
I really like Eric. I love the detail with the horns. It's solid.
Final answer.
Cleen.
Eric.
I'll go with Cleen. Winner of best tattoo of the day is Cleen. Today, you had to tattoo the ultimate test of precision, a portrait. Each of you tattooed head-to-head with another artist, and we will directly compare your work. Cleen, you went head-to-head with Jason.
You killed it on the details and the hat and the jacket and the emblems. The little highlights on the US symbols on his lapel is just great. For precision challenge, I think you nailed it.
You even added a highlight to the tie.
That isn't shown in the photo, which I really like, because there's certain things you can make better in a portrait, and you did that.
You excelled. It was just done nicely and sharp and meticulously. That's what wins this competition.
Today, you all had to tattoo a Grim Reaper, and you're being judged on the skills picked by our guest judges: creativity, composition, and contrast. Cleen.
Technically, it's smooth and sound and solid. The outline is clean, the black is black, the color is bright. But there's just a lot of problems with the design. I can't get away from this hoodie. You don't even have the cloak over the skull, which gives it even more of that hoodie look.
I guess that's my style, you know. I try not to do what everybody else is doing.
I know it's your style, but I think the skull could have been a little more refined because it was on a girl. It looks a little ugly.
The creativity in it's good. I just think maybe you put too much into it. When I'm creating a tattoo for somebody, I always try to look at what the person looks like and try to make it fit them aesthetically. I probably would have let up a little bit more and try to give her something soft.
You dropped it on this one. If you would have gone with a more realistic, finer line instead of a heavy, bold, cartoony style, you would have had a much different feel. Technically, you're always solid, but this design is probably one of my least favorite I've seen from you this competition.
This week, you had to prove that you could take on any challenge and persevere. A trip to the live finale is on the line. Cleen, let's start with you. You pulled the new school tiger.
I've been doing this style for 15 years. I tried to bring every trick I had in my bag on this one.
Your lines, super crisp. Your black, solid. You got some great little details in the gums and the teeth and the tongue. Your blends from orange to yellow and from blue to white. Seamless, man.
Thank you.
Judges, who had the best tattoo of the day?
When you really look at Cleen's tattoo, there's tricks in the tongue, there's tricks in the gums, there's smooth blending, there's a strong outline.
Final decision. Cleen.
Cleen.
The judges have decided, Cleen, you have the best tattoo of the day.
I am way more versatile than Eric and Jason put together. That title is mine.
There it is.
I love it.
All right, let's do it.
This is the largest color realism tattoo I've ever done, but I'm gonna kill it.
All right. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's bring out your master canvases. Cleen, come on down, man. Let's take a look.
I was given photorealism, and you know, my guy's a mechanic, and you know, I'm a gearhead, and we just decided to do some hot rod stuff and a super badass skull.
Today, Cleen challenged you to tattoo symbols of speed, hot rods and choppers, in neo-traditional style. Cleen, let's start with you. When you said neo-traditional, this was the palette that I expected to see from the field. I like the flames, the engine is very identifiable, and I like what you did with this background.
I think that's the best part. Red, wine, blue, baby. America.
That's not American, Cleen.
It's America.
That's Puerto Rican flag.
He gave him a Puerto Rican flag.
I see the discrepancies with the flag. Putting more stars in the blue area instead of one big white star would have helped you out. But no one can argue with this line work. Nobody can argue with your saturation. The details of this motor are right.
All right, guys, we have to determine who had the best tattoo of the day. I'm leaning more towards Cleen on this one because when I think neo-traditional, I think bold, big, loud, bright colors, contrast. I'm going with Cleen.
Cleen.
The judges have decided the best tattoo of the day goes to Cleen. Today, Sausage challenged you to transform your canvas into a comic book character. Cleen. What comic book character did your canvas want to be?
I wanted Chasing the Fame. This is a hard one. I'm just not a fan of the drawing of this tattoo. There's areas of technical ability that's just same old Cleen approach. Big areas of solid color, well applicated. But really, when it comes down to the fundamentals of the drawing of this thing, I just don't like it. I don't like the girl's hand that's wadded up on his thigh. I don't like her feet. It's rough.
All right, guys, time to critique your work. Cleen.
It looks very clean. There's a lot of very small details. There's actually the texture of the waves that gives it a real authentic fingerprint look.
Detective Gardner, your analysis concluded?
This print was definitely a match. He got all the points dead on.
Today, Maddie challenged you to tattoo a detailed Venetian mask. Cleen.
This tattoo has so much detail that it looks like I could take my finger and run it across, and I would feel all the bumps and I would feel all the ridges.
The shadow from the vine that cast onto the mask, amazing little touches of detail there. The details in the rose, the softness of the shadow all around.
All right, guys, it is time to determine who had the best tattoo of the day.
Obviously, Cleen has one of the strongest tattoos of the day.
Runaway train. Going with Cleen.
The judges have decided that the best tattoo of the day goes to Cleen. Jimmy challenged you to tattoo his specialty, New School, and we're judging color theory. Cleen.
This thing's dynamic. The balance that you have here between hot and cold, the little green that you have underneath set off with the turquoises and aqua colors, and even the white that pops off the backside of the head. All great color theory, all great color use.
One thing that you can do that a lot of your competitors cannot do is put this much color into this large of an area and have it be this saturated with this little trauma to the skin. You're putting up the bar for these guys to catch up with.
Today, Sarah challenged you to show composition by tattooing a surrealistic female. Cleen.
My first note on this tattoo is WTF.
The skin rip thing up top is crazy.
I tried to think outside the box and do something that has never been done.
You definitely did something that hasn't been done.
Composition on this thing for me, I just don't like the way it's laid out. I don't like the shape of the skin rips. I don't like the shape of the hair. I don't like the dimensions of the face. I don't know if it's surreal, but it's definitely unreal.
Tattooing the knuckles is difficult because if you go too deep or if you blow it out, you're screwed. And if you don't get it in there deep enough, it's not gonna stay. Your knuckles are super visible. You can't hide them.
Okay, artists, it's now time to critique your work. Cleen.
They're definitely very strong, bold tattoos. The black is nice, a little bit of gray highlights give it finesse.
You have 3 letters that you have on both fingers. You have the L, the I, and the E. They all match perfectly, which really shows that you're able to mimic your own lettering repeatedly. It's strong. Thanks.
Today, Jesse challenged you to tattoo a portrait of a political figure so well known that the tiniest flaw will be obvious. Cleen.
The details in the tie, the suit, and the hair are some of the best in the room. But you kind of lose that genuine look of his smile.
The shape of the mouth itself, Reagan has a bump on the bottom right side that really comes up, and you do it pretty straight. You put a really hard line in right next to the right nostril that gives the nose a different shape than what it looks like in the photo. But for a guy that doesn't do portraits, you definitely did a decent portrait here.
I think that was busted and it looked like the Joker. Cleen gets a pass a lot of times.
How is he getting a pass?
Pretty good review, I think, for that.
What's up, Christian?
Hey, you know what? You guys all got something to say. At least I got the balls to say it.
If you guys want to chime in after every one, be my guest. We can do group critique if you want to do that after us. Today, James Vaughn challenged you to the ultimate test of legibility, a Japanese dragon with water. Let's start off with Cleen. In terms of legibility, I do like this tattoo. A lot of times with dragons, it's difficult to see what's going on until you get right up on it. This one from a distance, it's clearly a dragon. It's a pretty killer tattoo.
But there's entirely too many white, shiny points to this tattoo for traditional Japanese. This thing was approached like a New School tattoo.
I've seen a lot of traditional Japanese guys use white.
I'm saying the way you super glossed this New School shine on every scale in here, having a little bit more knowledge on how to make this thing look like a Japanese tattoo would have helped out today.
These are all things that I don't know.
But coming here, you're supposed to know.
All right, guys, it's time to determine who had the best tattoo of the day.
Cleen's tattoo, big, solid, bright, bold.
I'm not swaying.
So final decision, James Vaughn. I like Anthony's tattoo, but I see a lot of the same tonal values going throughout it. So for that reason, my firm vote is for Cleen. The judges have decided that the best tattoo of the day goes to Cleen. Today, each of you had to face off head-to-head with another artist. And based on your work, 2 of you will pack your machines. Cleen. You've had a controversial history with this house in terms of photorealism.
My photorealism is a little whack, you know? So I'm like, just get good at it, then you're like gonna be the man.
I love this tattoo. There's depth to it. It's slightly gory.
I tried to make it gory but beautiful.
The wetness, the slickness, the veiny textures in the bottom. I love the little skull highlight you tipped in the bottom there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's cool.
It's really HD. It has texture everywhere. But to me, what I'm really impressed with is the color play. It creates life in the tattoo because it has that lavender kind of hue to it that plays off of the really rich black overall. The drawing on this thing's great. The balance is great. The textures in it are great. You knocked it out of the park.
Thanks.
Cleen, you basically reworked an existing tattoo, correct?
There's about 8 different tattoos.
You showed a lot of ingenuity. You basically redid multiple tattoos and tied everything together into one big forehead tattoo. Couple of downsides, the 2 sides that fade in, they're not completely symmetrical. The cracks come a little bit of different shapes. If you could have just brought those in and made a more symmetrical shape.
Cleen did a rework, a couple of stars and some cracks and a touch-up. That's not gonna win.
Today, you had to show ingenuity by covering a hate tattoo. Cleen, you actually did 2 cover-ups. Did you feel that was a disadvantage?
I mean, it wasn't easy. His arm's as big as my leg. And, you know, the tattoos that he has, just the flag itself is pretty good size.
Overall, man, it's a big, solid, saturated tattoo. Your ingenuity here was coming up with design that could get rid of both of these tattoos, but I'm just not a fan of the drawing. These helmets in real life, they are black, and now it's just bright bubblegum blue. Almost looks like it would be a baseball batting helmet as opposed to like a motorcycle helmet or something.
The upper jaw, if you just draw those teeth and then cover it with the fabric wouldn't pull directly back like that. It would stick out. But as far as the cover-up goes, you did this client a service. You had to cover up 2 tattoos, and I think you achieved it strongly.
Today, the new artists got to call their shots facing off with each of the veterans. The winner of each face-off will earn a spot in the live finale. It's time to see how you did. Anthony and Cleen, you tattooed a realistic black and gray female, no tracing. Cleen, how was it drawing this design?
I didn't get any sleep at all. You know, it's not like I've never drawn a girl before, but if you're not drawing them all the time, it's tough.
Was it an intentional move to hide the hands?
Well, yeah, you know, hands are tough to tattoo when you're tracing them, let alone when you're just drawing them from scratch.
Proportions are correct. Black and gray not being your specialty. This is really smooth shading, a lot of solid black areas, a lot of contrast.
The only section that I feel is a little bit strange is the ribs. Hard lining the ribs like that gives them a really inset feel that makes her look a little hungry.
James and Cleen, today you got to call your own shot. One of you will move on to fight for the title of Ink Master, and for one of you, this is the end of the line. It's time to see how you did. Cleen, let's start with you.
Some definite shining moments to this thing. Technically, very smooth application of color. The skull is the best part of the tattoo. I love the detail in the skull. I love the color in the skull. I love the idea of it upside down. But from a distance, this thing is pretty weird. The dagger is very hidden, and I thought you were gonna be able to do a kick-ass snake drawing.
I think it's a kick-ass snake drawing.
I don't really like the connection of the snake head to the neck, the harsh overbite and weak power to the lower jaw. This thing just looks kind of goofy.
The placement of the eye on this thing is what changes the dynamic of the face. The eye's just floating center part. Slide that eye back a little more and put it where it would go, and then it's not as debatable why the head looks so crazy.
It's an artist's rendering.
The body of the snake looks like a limp water balloon folding over everywhere.
And finally, back again for the second time, Cleen Rock One. Come on up, dude. The judges assigned you black and gray. Fine line. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, basically you guys assigned me black and gray, and it's not my forte. So I pretty much just looked at the guys that I, admire, and I tried to do something as close to that as possible.
All right, man. Thanks, fellas.
Today, you had to tattoo the ultimate test of precision, matching portraits. Cleen and Aaron, this challenge was designed to test your weaknesses. Golden Skull Tattoo, you're up first.
Cleen, did you practice before you came?
Yes.
I definitely want to tip my hat to you, man. You did a great portrait here. The eyes and the mouth, you hit them perfectly, especially that little turned up corner of the lip on the right side is what really captures her look.
Aaron, I like the way you did the black in the hair. Your hair maybe is a little bit better than Clean's, but as far as the application on the face and everything, Cleen might have made it a little more smooth.
I mean, you really try to mimic each other's stencil to the T.
There's a lot of precision in this tattoo.
Judges, time to announce who had the best tattoos of the day. Final decision?
Golden Skull.
I'm gonna have to say Golden Skull.
My decision is Golden Skull. The judges have decided the best tattoos of the day go to Golden Skull.
I didn't see that coming.
Today, you had to prove your adaptability by tattooing with other shops. The 4 shops tattooing on one canvas will be judged as a team. Basilica Tattoo, Golden Skull Tattoo, Old Town Ink, and Artistic Skin Design, you're up next. In terms of adaptability, what was the plan here?
We wanted each of us to put like our own artistic flair in it while still looking all cohesive and make sure they all look like they're
stood
same.
out individual.
Yeah, we wanted them to all look a little different in their own way.
Cleen.
This tattoo obviously is super technically done. Saturated perfectly. The red in this tattoo looks like a painting. And one thing I will say for you guys, this kind of background, what I like is that through the negative, the horse keeps playing. It's not just stripe, cut, goodbye.
Of the 4, it's probably my favorite one. But if these are supposed to go together and look like one artist did them...
Yeah, I think they all go together.
If you had 4 areas of your back tattooed that looked like the same artist did it, that's kind of weird to us.
That's the challenge, though. That's the way every tattoo we've done the whole time we've been here.
Well, we could have just made one stencil and just slapped it on all of them.
Why would it be this time when it's adaptability just to throw that away and do whatever you wanted?
This week, you showed placement by tattooing a painful and awkward part of the body, the armpits. The judges will compare your work side by side with 2 artists. The artist who completed the armpit tattoo that you started and the artist whose armpit tattoo you completed. Let's see how you did. Tommy and Cleen.
You guys do match in the sense of placement, and they do have the feel of the same artistry, but Cleen, yours is really technically solid. All the color here is really, really bright and saturated.
I love the deep, solid silhouette, the backside of the mouth, and the other teeth that are behind and the front. Very bold, very clean. You nailed it, man.
Did you make any changes, Tommy?
The drawing I'd gotten was a little bit simpler than the other one, so I added a little more texture to the face.
I don't feel like you look as comfortable doing this style. I think he gets you just a little bit on some of the textures and some of the color highlights and some of the blends. My vote's for Cleen.
I agree. I think Cleen edges out.
Cleen, you get Tommy.
Congratulations, Cleen. You win the head-to-head. All right, judges, time to announce best tattoos of the day.
Win and a loss, but top of the pack.
Both tattoos are really diverse, coming out of the same shop. My vote is for Golden Skull Tattoo. Chris?
Golden Skull.
The judges have decided the best tattoos of the day go to Golden Skull Tattoo. To succeed as a shop, you must be able to self-promote and impress your canvases. Let's see how you did. Golden Skull Tattoo.
What makes this tattoo stand out so strong is that it's a believable pose. The guy's just chilling on a rubber chicken. There's no question. Nobody's like, oh, what is that supposed to be?
As far as application and positioning, it's all spot on.
Reputation is everything. To succeed as a shop, your work must be all the self-promotion you need. Let's see how you did. Golden Skull Tattoo.
Outside, the flames look strong and solid, your outline looks strong, but you lose it in that snow globe. You gotta see that the black's missing. Like, you don't have a spot in there that's solid.
The hat and the bow tie were intentional.
Nah, dude. That tattoo has gotta look punched in.
Today, you had to face off, proving the strength of your shop. Basilica Tattoos and Unkindness Art, you're safe from elimination this week. For the face-off, they assigned American traditional snakes. And based on your work, one shop will be eliminated. First up is Golden Skull Tattoo.
You do a very straightforward, clean, really technical tattoo here. What I love is that all the anatomy is right.
The belly scales all going in the right direction. All the turns make sense. The little bit of wide open on each belly scale looks very consistent and clean. It looks cool, it looks tough.
Today, you had to show cohesion by tattooing a complex image, an Asian deity. Golden Skull Tattoo.
All right, guys, first issue. You know what it is?
No, what is it?
The hands.
Good, good.
Obviously, you got the left hand on the right arm and the right hand on the left arm.
I mean, we weren't trying to do a portrait.
Nobody does this anyways.
We were trying to do a funny, happy-go-lucky, goofy character.
You hit that everywhere, minus in the hands. You definitely capture the look of this particular rendition of Hote.
Aside from that, the black cloud, I can't stand it. It's just very haphazardly done, and that negative line that goes through there kills the bottom of this design.
This is a tough break for you guys.
All right, judges, time to determine who's going home.
Somebody that works for me does a tattoo with the hands on backwards. I don't think it's a small mistake.
How many wins do you guys have?
2.
Our shot one on Armpit Day and Portrait Day.
I heard a lot of wins on Golden Skull. I didn't hear any wins on Black Cobra.
2 and 2. None. Black Cobra, based on these report cards.
Based on the report cards?
Yeah.
Also based on the tattoos?
There's equal problems.
I'm the guy who comes in and gets tattooed. I would be bummed out on these hands. My vote is for Golden Skull. The judges have decided Golden Skull tattoo. You do not have what it takes to be master shop.
Sucks. For the record, I think you guys are one of the better bunches, and your report card proves it.
Please pack your machines and move out. It's time to critique your work. Cleen, we'll start with you. How'd it go?
Great, man. I tried to make my new school tattoo as smooth as I could in the short amount of time.
I really like the tattoo. The illustration is strong. I like the play on the bat wings back at your adversary.
The chrome work on it is exactly what you expect to see in a really good new school tattoo.
Strong color play and very smooth, strong fades.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Cleen's black and gray tattoo.
You got a lot of detail in such a small tattoo. Little details in the hands, holding onto the branch. The branch itself is detailed. And then also at the other end, a lot of detail into the face, the eyes, the fur around the head. The detail shines really strong.
Cleen's tattoo is a ton of black. It's a great way to hide the fact that you don't have the finesse to show softness. It's what he always does.
Okay, it is time to critique your work. Cleen.
The outline's strong and the shading's very deliberate. The skin breaks that you have in the furrowed brow really make this thing lunge forward in correspondence with the muzzle.
Cleen's drawing is just a little more slick. My vote's for Cleen.
Cleen.
The winner of this face-off is Cleen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's move on to the color realistic strawberry. Cleen.
It's a really smart play. Cutting in half the strawberry, showing the inner detail looks really nice.
The light parts of the strawberry spread out through the redness on the inside, give it a little life.
I mean, I like both, but it's hard to deny that there's so much more detail in Cleen's. I gotta go with Cleen.
Cleen.
The winner of this face-off is Cleen.
Yeah.
Good job, Cleen. Yeah, Cleen. Coaches, it is now time to critique your work. Let's start with Cleen's design. What was your plan?
I just wanted to do something that nobody's ever seen before.
Obviously, the stencil was a definite curveball, no pun intended.
Overall, it's super clean, super saturated, great light source. You have great textures, you have great shadows. You killed it.
It is time to determine the winner of Cleen's design.
Christian had to do a lot to transform that silhouette into that face. He comes close, but some of the proportions are off.
And then you look at Cleen's tattoo, it really looks perfect for that design. My vote's for Cleen.
Cleen.
The winner of this face-off is Cleen. Right. Now let's have a look at Christian's design. What was your plan?
I wanted to do something that I would be good at, and I've never been a huge fan of his women's faces.
Cleen.
I love the hair. I like the style of the bandana. I wish the bandana was right at the brow, and then the hair went up. The head looks a little bit long.
But you got a lot of great shading in here. Technical application is really nice.
Now let's look at Cleen's tattoo.
Well, it's definitely very dynamic. The way you pull off the flames and the flame over top of the flame, the transparency of the needle through the flame, this is obviously a more advanced way to pull it off. One spot where you shine is in the needles and how you portray so much black and the white highlights in the needles to really give them the texture and the look.
The thing for me that stands out the most is going to be the strong outline around the tube and the needle bar. That's what really makes this thing pop in the foreground for me. It gives it a lot more dimension.
Overall, man, I would say that this is the expert level finesse way to tattoo.
I wanted to prove a point that I could do a big, solid tattoo faster and better than anybody on that team.
All right, it's a big night here in Las Vegas. One of the coaches will settle the score and walk away with $100,000. Let's take a look. Wow.
I'm always kind of known for going big and bold, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something that was the biggest tattoo that Ink Master's ever seen. I wanted to do something that you could see from across the street, and I wanted to show that you can do a tattoo, one shot, one kill, just tattooing.
Well done, man.
It is solid from top to bottom. You do have a lot of breathability, do have a lot of open skin.
The anatomy of the snake is perfect. Every little scale has that little break in it.
This thing's massive. This is the biggest thing we've seen on Ink Master.
I was like, you know what? We're going balls to the wall.
Really nice work, buddy. Thank you. Kristen, come on up, buddy. You look at Cleens and there's just so much line work in that thing. It's massive, it's detailed. I mean, it's just all beautifully done. And I love both these tattoos too. Just if I'm looking at weight of tattoos, I gotta go with Cleen Rock One. Chris, that means it is all on you, my friend.
Man, I'm so torn. For me, it's always been the same thing, and it's been the tattoo that looks heavy. And it's just the application and what I think, for me, really holds. And as tough as this is, I'm gonna go clean.